who's seen Never Ending Story? And if you haven't, I know some young people, they're like, I haven't seen that. You need to watch it. It is a fantasy film from the 80s that really defined a generation. And yeah, you need to give it a watch. And we have the iconic Tami Stronach, who played the childlike Empress, sitting down for a chat. So Never Ending Story fans, now is the time to come down to the stage. We're going to be having a chat with the lovely Tami Stronach. And I think I said the last name correctly. We were talking about this before we came on the stage.
You did.
And it's a Gaelic last name, right?
Yeah, so it's a Gaelic name, so it's Stronach, but I never ask anyone to pronounce it, so we just say Stronach.
It's fun to say, Stronach. Stronach. Now we know, that's an insider, never-ending story, privileged information right there. You know the real pronunciation of Tami's last name. And I would love to know, I mean, obviously we're going to be talking a lot about Never Ending Story today. It's just such an iconic and memorable role for an entire generation, myself included. My husband and I rewatched it leading into this interview, and we're like, oh, this movie is a trip. Like, it's better than we remember it being, and you were so young when you were in that film. What do you remember about the audition process?
So, I was in an acting class when I was 10 in San Francisco, and one of the producers on the film, Anna Gross, was in town for auditions, and she was just randomly friends with my acting teacher, and they were going to meet to have lunch, and she came 10 minutes early, and she saw me in the class, and she said, hey, do you want to come down and audition for this film? And I was in like community theater, and I was in a traveling show doing Winnie the Pooh at assemblies. And I was like, sure, I'll come and audition. Like, when is it? Yeah, I had no idea what I was auditioning for. And then I showed up in like full pig makeup, because it was after I played Piglet in one of my school assembly shows. And she was like, what is on your face? And she took me to the bathroom, and she tried to like rub the pink grease paint off of my face.
That's so funny. That's a very different look than how we all picture the Empress from the film.
And so then I had to do another audition without the Piglet makeup on. And then there was a final audition in Germany, round 3, and that was it. I just did 3. Yeah.
Did you have any idea at the time of filming Never Ending Story that you were like really part of something? And like, when did you kind of realize that you were part of something that was becoming a cult classic?
So no, I had no idea as a kid, although I will say I really loved the book. I understood that it was a really special story, and I felt really excited to be a small part of bringing that story to life. So I did understand that it was a really special story. But I really just forgot about the film for a long time, in all honesty. Like, I stopped acting and I went into dance, and it wasn't even on my resume for a long time. But then there was, but then it was like a slow roll with the Never Ending Story. Like, it kind of got bigger with more time. And then, yeah, when it was on Stranger Things, I was like, I think this is sticking around. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The whole song. Actually, I was listening to the song on the way here, and I asked Siri to play it for me, and that's the version that she played. Was the Stranger Things version.
I was watching Stranger Things with my husband. No. And we were like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh, that must have been such a fun moment.
It really was.
It really shows you like the enduring legacy of that film. And like I said, like it really did, like any kid that grew up in the 80s and even 90s knows that film so well. And I think new generations are being introduced to it as well. And speaking of like, do you find like when you come to events like this that like you're meeting the kids of the 80s and 90s, but
yeah,
like it spans more like generations than just that?
I mean, it's interesting. There is this kind of bond with the Gen Xers that all grew up on the same movies, and we can look at each other, and I know that they like Labyrinth and they like Princess Bride, and you know that we all like we grew up on the same things. So I feel like like I feel very like excited to be part of this 80s fantasy. It's kind of this classic 80s fantasy thing, but that's because I'm a huge fan. Like those movies are the movies I love, you know? And then the kids, it's funny, like some kids are really into it, and some kids are like, my parents make me watch their movies and know what I want to do.
And you have a daughter.
I do.
Have you shown her the film?
Yes. So I waited for a while because I didn't want her to be afraid of the film. And so she was 9 when I showed it to her. And I filmed her. I put it on Instagram. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I need to watch that immediately.
There's like the scene where she's asking Bastion, the Empress is asking Bastion to call her name. She's just like rolling around on the bed, like and squealing. And she's like, why doesn't he do it? Why doesn't he do it? Why doesn't he call her name? He should call her name. She was like losing her mind. And I was like,
Oh, that must have been such a proud moment. I love that.
She was hilarious.
What do you remember most from being on the Neverending Story set?
Oh, on the set. So the Swamps of Sadness. Yeah, that set was
iconic moment.
So amazing. Like, imagine this room, this whole room.
Okay.
Filled with mud from the floor to where this stage starts.
Oh my God.
And then all this natural debris, trees and logs and pieces of moss. And then we'd all be sitting. It's like, it's real. It's not green screen. It's not fabricated. And the sides have beautiful tapestries that were painted with a little bit of like smoke and fog over them. It's really overwhelming. Like it's insane to do that.
I think that's part of the enduring legacy, especially 80s films, the practical effects, because film sometimes now leans so heavily on CGI that it doesn't age well sometimes, and I think Neverending Story does not have that problem because it's all physical.
love practical effects. And I think eventually it'll balance out. Like everyone got so excited about CGI, they kind of went CGI crazy.
Yeah.
But then now there's like more animatronics and puppetry that they're updating with robotics. And I feel like hopefully it'll swing back so that you use the practicals when they shine and you use the CGI when it's appropriate, but it's like artistically justified, not just like what's easy.
And I am curious to know how your daughter reacted, because there's a particular scene in Neverending Story, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with me that it stayed with me for a long time. I don't even know if I want to say it, but it's the horse scene. 4 Artax in the Swamp of Sadness. I think that traumatized a whole generation of kids. I know it did for me.
I've done some Neverending Story screenings where I was invited, and I managed to go get popcorn every time.
Oh, by accident.
Right
Just
at
a
that.
coincidence.
Be right back. I'll just be right back. And I miss it. I can't do it.
Okay, so Tammy's right there with us and everybody who was traumatized by the horse. Good to know, because we put it on and I was like, can we fast forward to
just
that
get
part?
Popcorn.
Like, yeah, I'm excited to watch the movie again, but just that part. So you were around 11 years old?
Yeah, so my birthday's July 31st. So I filmed the first scene when I was 10, and then I had a birthday, and then in August I filmed the second scene.
So that's pretty young for being, and I would say Neverending Story. It's a kids movie, but it's an intense kids movie. How did director Wolfgang Peterson direct you to portray the Empress?
So I had like a little book that I wrote all the adjectives for her.
Oh, interesting.
So I read the book and I had like a list of, maybe 6 or 7 adjectives. And in the book it says she's, very, very old. She's timeless. And I was 10, so I'm like, oh, very old.
She's 30.
300 years old. Like I couldn't even imagine. It's like, I could have said 3,000 years old. But in my mind, that was the biggest number I could think of, So it's very cute. It's like kids' handwriting. And
Do you still have it?
I do.
I love that.
So I would say that he really allowed me to find the character, and then he was really instrumental in creating the vibe of the moment. And Wolfgang is an incredible director, and he has so much gravitas. So he would come and he would sit like right next to you, and he'd be like, okay, it's the end of the world. Nothing is going to exist after this moment. Everything you love, everything you love. And you're like, oh, and it was long, and it was and real, and it was great. Like, he had this wonderful voice, and you were just in it. So not at all, like I think a lot of times on film sets there can be a lot of rushing, and I was privileged to be a part of a story that was being told with a big enough budget for time. And so everything was set up like so that the space for the scene could really happen.
And that's a really interesting choice of director for a fantasy film, because he had a pretty serious like catalog of films he'd done before. Like, I've never seen Das Boot,
Yeah.
but I've heard of that film, and then I think the next one he did right after that was Never Ending Story.
Yeah, definitely.
And we touched on the scene, which is so iconic, where you're asking Bastian, I think any Never Ending Story fan knows, when you're asking him to give the Empress her name. What kind of direction did he give you? Because that's such an intense moment of the film. Like, you had the way your daughter reacted to it is like so many of us reacted to it. So what was his direction specifically for that scene?
Well, so that was just choreography, you know. I had Noah sitting. So I looked here, and then he just told me to like look into the camera and break the fourth wall. And I was 10, so I didn't know that that was weird. You know, like I was just like, okay, I just do what the director says, you know? And then actually it was very funny because we could talk about this later, but I just produced and starred in a new film, and we were just like doing some takes, and I looked right in the camera, and they were like, Tami, don't look, no one does that. And I was like, oh, no one does that, it was me, I just got confused. Look over here.
Did you get to spend time with any other cast members?
Yeah, we all lived in a hotel in Munich, and each of us was on like a different floor of the hotel, and there was a big swimming pool, and we would go swimming, and we would go to the English beer gardens in Germany.
Beer gardens or children?
It's Germany. Has anyone been to Germany? Everyone goes to the beer gardens with their children. I mean, we don't drink beer. You learn to flip coasters. That's my skill. I left Germany with an incredible coaster flipping skill, because you're so bored. All the adults are sitting around drinking beer and you have nothing to do. So I can show you later.
What is something about filming or preparing for the role or post that you could share with the London Comic Con crowd today that might surprise them, like they may not know already?
I mean, I've talked about it before, so maybe people have heard of this, but my canine teeth fell out right before filming, because you can't predict when children's teeth are going to fall out. And Wolfgang was so upset. He was just like, oh my gosh. You're like, these teeth are gone. So they sent me it was horrible. They sent me to this dentist. For 2 weeks, I had to lay in a chair with my mouth open, and I had like these red lines just etched into the side of my mouth because my mouth was open for like 6 hours for 2 weeks, while they made a horrific denture mold that I inserted over my existing teeth. So if you go back and look at the movie, in scene 1, I'm wearing fake teeth, and in scene 2, there was a big break between scenes. They'd grown enough that he was like, just don't smile. Like, if you smile, just little smile and no one will see your teeth. And my mouth is so much more comfortable in scene 2. So when they first put the dentures in, I lisped because it was so much plastic in my mouth. That is not it's not good for her voice. So I had to learn to speak in these enormous teeth. You go check it out. The teeth are giant.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I didn't clock that when I saw it at all. Like,
good for the dentist. Anyway, it was horrible. And then my husband, who's also an actor, said to me that he thinks that my having to mask that I'm not wearing my dentures in the second scene helped the acting, because it was like I had a secret and I couldn't move my mouth too much. And he's like, I feel like it was kind of like a weird good direction from Wolfgang, because it kind of kept everything really still and subdued. And meanwhile, I'm just like, keep your mouth really small.
Now, maybe it's the dentures, but I'm wondering, did you keep any props, any little trinkets from the never-ending set?
I wish I had kept the dentures. You don't think of stuff like that when you're 10. You're like,
You could probably sell those on eBay for a lot of money.
So it's really sad. I was promised the dress and the tiara, and it never arrived.
Well, can we find who was responsible for that?
Oh, come on. This is 3 million years ago.
Somebody out there
Somebody
has the
has
tiara
my
and the
dress. I know.
It should belong to you.
It should. But it's okay. It's all good. It's fine.
So you, like you said, after Neverending Story, you moved away into like theater and dance, and now you're involved in the production company, Paper Canoe Company. What kind of stories are you personally passionate about sharing with your production company?
So I had a daughter. She's 14. Her name is Maya. And we started looking at different stories that I'd read to her, stories we'd go see. I'd take her to a lot of theater. And it kind of just pivoted me towards wanting to make stories that families could watch together. That doesn't mean that the stories don't have darkness in them. Like Neverending Story has a lot of darkness in it. They can still be deep, and they can still be, like, I think sometimes when we say family audiences, we kind of feel like it's just kind of not substantial. But I actually think that they can be, and when they are, like Pixar does such a good job, like with amazing storytelling. So it's just, I think, because I'm in this phase of my life, so I was really interested in like stories that people could watch together from 6 to 106 and enjoy as a family. And you'd get different things depending on how old you are. You get different things out of it. And then I'm sure as my daughter ages, I'll probably, you kind of like,
She's your muse, it sounds like.
Yes.
I didn't, right, it says muse right
It
there on
says
your
muse.
shirt.
Yeah, I feel like my husband was in the film I produced and directed, and my daughter was, and really invested in sort of bringing we like to go on this journey together. So it kind of is informed by where we are in that storytelling cycle.
Before we ask the audience if they have any questions, let's talk about Man and Witch very quickly. Christopher Lloyd, Sean Astin, what a great cast. What was it like working with them?
So Sean Astin was the voice of the Jim Henson puppet that narrates the film. So my husband directed him on The Voice in LA. I did not work with him directly, but I see him a lot on the Comic-Con circus.
I mean, it's a bit of a circus in here. I don't think that's wrong.
And he's just the nicest person you could meet. Like, he's who you think he is. And when we were looking for a narrator, and my husband was like, well, who could play like your best friend? Because the dog.
Sean Astin.
And I was like, the only person that could play your best friend is Sean Astin, who Sean Astin is the best friend anyone could ever have, right? Like Lord of the Rings and Frodo.
He'll carry you up Mordor to toss that
right?
ring.
So luckily I had met him and I knew him, so that was great. And my husband loved working with him. He's super bright, super, like, improved some of the lines. And then for me, the all-time high was the scene with Christopher Lloyd and Shorag Dashlu. That was absolutely my favorite day of filming. I just kept pinching myself. I was like, come on.
Is he as wonderful in real life as we all think he is?
So Christopher Lloyd loves acting, and I mean loves it. Like, he had to fly out the next day to do a play, and he was just coming, and he's getting up there in years, and he loved the script, and he just wanted to be a part of it. Like, he's genuinely an artist. He just wants to tell stories. He's hilarious. He cracked Shorag Dashlu and I all the time. He's amazing. He's so good. And then she was like so warm. She felt like my mom instantly.
And do you prefer, because you're a witch in that movie, do you prefer the witch or the Empress? If you had to choose, which one are you leaning towards? Which one do you
Well,
prefer?
I think it would be super weird if I played a childlike Empress in this moment. Like, I'm aware of the difference between fantasy and reality.
How about an adult-like Empress?
You know, it was really fun for me to play a witch because I'm always cast, always, in like the cute role or the good girl role or the kind person or something. I'm not gonna do spoilers. The witch is a complicated character. She has an arc. But it was really fun to start in a kind of grisly, dark place because no one lets me do that. So I enjoyed it.
So let's go to our wonderful audience here and see if anyone has a question. I already see a hand up right over here. What would you like to ask Tami?
How much did you like your role as a childlike Empress?
I have to say, I really loved it. I was constantly going over my lines in the evening, and Barrett and Noah would come and they'd be like, "Do you want to play?" And I'd be like, "Do you want to rehearse?" And they'd be like, "No." Like, I loved it so much. I wanted to do it all the time. But I was a very nerdy kid. Like, I took things really seriously.
Does anybody else have a question? Okay, yeah, we've got 3 hands up over here.
How much did you get paid for your child role Empress?
Can you reveal?
I'll tell you, I don't know. What happens if you say the thing you're not supposed to say? Okay, I'm gonna give you, I'm not gonna say the exact amount, but so little that all of your jaws would drop to the floor. Very, very little. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna make as much this weekend as what I got paid for the Neverending Story. Yeah.
Did they let you ride Falcor?
Great question. We all want to know.
No, and I feel like that's my only resentment. Now's my chance.
I was gonna say, if you haven't seen yet, there's an amazing Never-Ending Story installation
It's
here
totally
at Comic-Con
amazing.
today.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was stunned.
Have you got on
I
it
went
yet?
over, John took me for a tour who made all the incredible puppets, and I was floored. He's an incredible
Well, we're gonna get you on
person.
Falcor.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'll go on again.
We got one back here, and then we'll come to this gentleman in the front.
Did you guys play any pranks on each other throughout the movie?
Pranks. The only thing I can remember is like there's a train track next to the English beer garden, and it wasn't very active. It wasn't dangerous. Don't you look worried? Beer and trains. I know. What is this? And then so Noah and I were like walking because we are not drinking beer. We are children, so we're kind of walking around. And we're walking on the train tracks, and he was like, "Tammy, there's a train!" And he just like pushed me and swept me off the train track. And then like the train was like so far away, and we were just like waiting and waiting for the train to go by. Is that a prank? Kind of, yeah.
I got another question here from a fox, I believe. We've got a fox in the audience.
Have you ever wanted to ride Falcor in real life?
My gosh, who wouldn't want to ride Falcor in real life? I think we all could use a luck dragon. I could definitely use a luck dragon, yes.
All right, our gentleman with the mic is on the run. I promise, sir, in the front, I saw you. You're gonna get your question.
I just wanted to ask, what is your never-ending story? The one that you like to read time and time again?
So my all-time favorite film is Princess Bride. I'm obsessed with it. And Lord of the Rings. And when I'm sad, I watch those 2 movies and I instantly feel better. Yeah.
Inconceivable.
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 Do not think that word means what you think it means.
The next question, please.
I just want to say welcome to London.
what is your most memorable moment from Never Ending?
From making the film?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was the emotional scene where I looked into the camera and broke the fourth wall. Like, it was really amazing to be given the opportunity to have permission to feel that much. I think we live in a society that kind of frowns on crying and being sad, and there's a lot of times we have to pretend we're fine when we're not, and sometimes if you're a sensitive person, people are like, why are you so sensitive? It's like, why are you not so sensitive? Don't you see all the horrible shit that's going on? Like, I don't understand, you know? So I just really loved having the opportunity for emotion and feeling and kindness and to be allowed. It was meaningful to me.
We have time for a couple more questions. Okay, we have one right over here.
Do you have any like advice?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I do. So it's kind of interesting. You know, I didn't make more movies after I left The Neverending Story, but I got super, like, I soaked in the message of the film, which was the author's message, Michael Ende, who wrote the book. And his real warning to us all is to not lose sight of how important our imagination is and how important creativity is. And it's something in your soul will die if you don't keep that part of you alive. And I was sitting next to Jonathan, and he showed me this quote. It was interesting. It was like, I'm going to paraphrase it, but when you're little, you're given a box of crayons, and you get to just express yourself. And then you grow up, and they take the box of crayons away, and they make you do algebra and get serious, and they, you know, your creativity kind of can get stifled. And then when you grow up, you're like, where's my box of crayons? So keep your box of crayons. Keep your creativity and your imagination alive, because it's important and it transforms the world. If you don't believe it, you can't make it.
I love that. That was perfect. And Tami and I have been working on something special to do today.
Oh, working on? They sprung this on me like right there, like 2 seconds ago.
We've been
working.
Hard work and preparation. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And we actually do require the assistance of everybody in the room with us today here at London Comic-Con. Who knows the theme song for Never Ending Story? All right, I see quite a few hands going up. We have Tami Stronach, who played the childlike Empress from Never Ending Story, sitting down with us here today. It's a privilege and an honor, Tami. It was amazing to get to talk to you today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me and for being here.
And I think the best way to go out, who will sing with us the theme for Never Ending Story?
Don't make me do this alone.
Don't make us do it alone.
We don't have any music. Come.
We're not professionally trained
Are they just going to
musicians.
sing from there? They stand up and sing, or they come here? What are they doing?
I don't. What should they do?
Who
I feel
wants
like you're
to
the
sing?
professional.
Who wants to sing?
You can come up.
Whoever wants to sing, come
to
on
the stage,
and we'll
with
share the
Tami.
microphone. I need help.
We would love that.
I need assistance.
Who would like to come up? I know I have a friend in the room somewhere.
And if you
her daughter.
and sing from your chair if you're more comfortable singing from your chair.
Chelsea, if you can hear this, a great opportunity for you. Paging
Yeah,
Chelsea.
where is she? Chelsea.
Also, here, why don't you stand next to Tami? Come on, is anyone else? Come on. Who else wants to come up onto the stage with us?
Here, I'm gonna go.
No, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come on, especially the kids. Come on.
I see somebody on their way up right now. This gentleman, we actually got a chance to help save the galaxy on Falcor. He brought us. So
Fantastic.
we're quite happy about this.
Well, I need the words that need to stand.
Here we go.
Words.
Okay. So you'll share that microphone and we'll share this microphone. We can come down. Or
Is she able to get up? Is she coming up? She's If anyone else wants to come up on stage here at London Comic Con today and sing with the Empress, this is the Empress, people, from Never Ending Story. Yes, we got another. So yes. All right, make some noise to get us hyped up to do this today. Here at London Comic Con. I mean, Never Ending Story, an iconic film. I know you know the words. Especially if you're a Stranger Things fan, you know that this song was famously sung in the latest season. Was the latest season? It was the latest season, I think. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right.
You wanted, so we'll just find the note, right?
No, we're the music. Yeah, we're turn around, look at what you see in your face, the mirror of your dreams. Make believe I'm everywhere, hidden in the lines, written on the pages is the answer to a never-ending story.